Hey, hey.
Good evening.
Let me get to there we go. I just heard a screaming child. No.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, mama should be here very, very soon.
Uh, Working on sharing this out. Let's
Then, of
see.
course, we have the spastic dog over here that is locked in because she can't play nice with kids either. No. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I remember why I'm done raising my kids.
Hi, Tom.
Mm.
So, had to do a second attempt to go live. I don't know what it is. It's saying all the platforms were live, but then I would check the page and it's not live.
I don't know. I just think this platform lags a little bit, is all.
It has been lately.
I wonder
Um,
if more people are using it because of what happened with StreamYard.
I would not be surprised.
And so maybe they weren't prepared for all of that.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Hey, Joe. Now, according to YouTube, we did go live for 57 seconds. So that means I'm going to have to go through all of the YouTube channels that this did go live on and delete those. Um,
Thank you, Willow. How are you?
oh yeah, got the little beard going. Um, so I'm going to have to go through and delete all those little snippets out. But
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the Facebook end. Um, last week, Fear Fans, they didn't go live on any Facebook page. They were live everywhere else, but not on Facebook, and they had four destinations there.
I wonder if we need to maybe get a hold of them. I don't know.
And I just haven't taken the time to do that. And there is a support button here, but all these support buttons are either AI or Pakistani people.
Yeah. I have a lot of trouble understanding when they're trying to help me, especially because I'm so tech dumb. When they're trying to explain something to me that I don't know the name of in English, let alone with an English accent or a different accent, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I had one. I had an issue with my email. Remember when it kept forcing me to change my password like every week or twice a week?
Yeah.
I did the customer support there, and they put a thing in there for somebody to call me. Okay. I get the call. I couldn't understand a damn word this person was saying.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah. I just hung up. Screw this.
Yeah. Yeah. Our security system, the same cameras that we took out there to the Abbey. Um, um, all of a sudden it said it wasn't recording. And somebody's been messing with our truck. And I swore it was dad because we would go out there and the seat would be all the way back, like the power seat all the way back, and it laid back. What
Wow.
on earth? The first time it happened, I'm like, you might have hit it with your leg or something while you're getting something out. I'm sure there's a logical explanation. And
Usually there is.
yeah, yeah. So it happened three different times after that. And he finally took a picture and goes, look. So I'm looking at the cameras because the gate was pushed open, but it wasn't all the way open. It was still hinged, but out. And I don't understand how somebody pushed it out and not in if they're trying to get in, unless they got in the front and going out the back. But nothing was taken, nothing was messed up. So I'm looking at the cameras and it said, disk lost, reformat disk. And I'm like, okay, clicked
Oh no, I
reformat.
hate it when I get those messages.
And it said, cannot reformat. I'm like, as much as I paid for this, some bitch, yes, you will reformat. And so I had Zach take it down here to the actual computer and try to reformat it, and it wouldn't work. So we got customer support. They told us take it out, take the whole damn thing apart, take it out, unplug it from itself, and put it back in. We did that. It seems to have fixed it, but I have not plugged it back in completely yet.
Buyer beware.
Well, the thing is, we're getting ready to go on that trip to Kansas, and I want to see the animals. I want to see that they're not out there in that heat. I want to see what is going on.
Yeah. Oh boy, and I actually just started. Hey everybody, and I actually just started a marathon of trips that I'm going to be doing over the next week and a half.
Yeah, no, no, I'm good to do that trip, and the only reason I'm really doing this trip, I've put it off for 2 years. And the only reason I'm doing it now is because we happen to have an extra payday in July. It just worked out that way. No, he's not at a Paracon. I'm not sure where he's at.
He's probably not feeling good. I know 2 days ago he wasn't feeling good, but
Acme,
uh,
whatever.
he was on a show earlier today. He didn't sound the greatest, but he was on a show earlier today for Mary Williamson's birthday. Today is her birthday. Um, for those who don't know Mary, she is the leader of Things of the Netherlands team, um, and a long term member of Things. Actually,
Okay.
she's giving you high five.
No, she is trying to get me to pet her. She's trying to pull my hand. No, no, that's enough. That's enough. Spazoid, get down.
So you guys probably all saw the post on the network and the Universal page. So do stop by and wish her a happy birthday.
Kids are going to be in Colorado for a few weeks. I get to do the house remodeling. Yep.
So today I just started doing my first of several road trips. I've got 3 days in a row this week, and then staggered next week. I went to Marion today, which is an hour drive one way. Tomorrow I am going to Noblesville, which is 2 hours one way. Saturday I will be going to first to Newcastle. I'm going to be spending the whole day with my brother.
How
And
far is that?
Newcastle is 2 hours away, but we are going to be driving out to Richmond, Indiana, which is another hour from there. Richmond is where we were both born. Our mom was born there. Um, my brother was partially raised there, so we're going to be go see some of our old haunted sites. A place where our grandpa used to take us out for walks, and also go visit all the graves down there.
Zach calls that seeing his ghosts when he goes to the graves.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, we're going to be seeing grandma and grandpa. We are going to be seeing grandma's parents, who's also buried in the same cemetery. My brother has a sister from his father's side, who's buried there. She died very young, 19, and she was only a couple of months younger than I am. Then taking Sunday off. Monday, I will be going to Kokomo, which is an hour and a half drive. Wednesday, I'll be going to Indy, which is well, actually, where we're going in Indy is about 2.5 hours. And then next Friday, I'll be going back to Marion, which is an hour. So I'm going to be putting in some driving time this week.
At least it's not real long stints at a time.
No, but when you get 6 of them in a span of 8 days, it
Kokomo was down by Florida. Well, there is one down by Florida.
no,
It's
not
Kokomo
that.
Beach.
Oh, you mean Cocoa Beach? No, the Kokomo song, that is not an actual place.
Isn't there a Kokomo Beach?
Kokomo Beach, probably, um, but I did some research. They actually made up.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What are you doing here? Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. I get to do this.
Uh-huh. We expected no less.
What's up, guys?
What's wrong with your camera?
What do you mean?
Looks
It's
like
not
shit.
focusing.
It's not focusing.
Uh-uh. Well, when you get closer, it does, but when you're further, it doesn't focus.
Oh, yeah, I can see that now. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird.
It's
There's a ghost between
about
you and
the
the
same
camera it's
as
focusing
where
on.
the movie is.
See if maybe by turning it off or something.
Hey, you look. Oh, I was going to say you look so much better now.
Yeah, we're going to be crazy this weekend, too. I'm volunteering tomorrow, and then I get up close and personal with the dogs tomorrow, so that could be dangerous.
No, he's not, Chris.
Yeah,
And
I'm kind
then
of already aware I'm a few minutes
It,
late.
so far, altogether, Nick is an hour and a half late today. He's
oh,
an hour late for Mary's show,
I know.
and technically, he's a half hour late here.
that's yeah. But no, I'm going to volunteer, and then Saturday. I told Zach because last weekend we went to our kids to help them move, and I said, "Look, I got to have one day home this weekend because this house looks like ass, and the garden, the weeds are growing taller than the plants. I got to have one day."
You should see my yard right now. I haven't been able to mow because we've been getting so much rain these.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night, lightning struck close because there was one boom that shook the house.
Oh
I
gosh.
I asked Dad about it. He said there was he felt the house shake. I actually thought when the thunder hit that somebody had crashed into my tree in my front yard.
Oh,
Oh shit.
That was how
jeez.
it sounded and felt. I went out to check. My tree is fine, but damn, it sounded just like a car crash.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it was pretty bad here. Not it wasn't loud. It was just the lightning, and I'm working, and I have one of those boxes where it's supposed to keep everything going after the electric goes out. I promise you, it does not. It does not. Once the electric goes out, it flashes, so your computer's out. I'll be damned, I'm going to be logging back on until we have electric. But it kept dimming.
I was still writing when this was happening.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
gonna say that must have scared the hell out of you.
yeah.
Yeah, but luckily my program, even if if the power goes out and I hadn't had a chance to save, there's an automatic recovery on my word processor. So it brings up everything that I had already typed but didn't have a chance to save. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, most programs now just pretty much auto save as you're going. But so we're going Sunday again to go help him move, and I'll do the move out clean. And I just want a weekend now. Used to, I was bored. I'm like, I'm bored. I want to go do something. I want to do something. No, I want a weekend where I can say I have nothing planned except a nap. That's all I'm doing is a nap.
Yeah, well, I can't even say that I've got Sunday off because Donald and I are supposed to do a wrestling podcast Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, you said something about crashes earlier, so I was looking on Facebook today, and I saw nothing but crashes. There was where I used to live in Bonita, Oklahoma. Somebody went under, which Jan will understand this one. Somebody went under the turnpike and on the 66 turnpike and hit the bridge, caught on fire, and like it was hitting the top where you can go over. All the fire was hitting
Oh,
that. It was awful. And then they showed a picture of the truck burned to nothing but like a skeleton. It was
Mm.
awful.
what was that?
It was in Bonita, Oklahoma.
Oh, sorry, Jeremy.
No,
Sorry. It
that
was
was you, Nick.
that was me. It was a picture I
Oh,
wanted to show to you guys eventually. I was just getting it ready when we got
Run,
it.
oh, I
Sorry
didn't
about
even
that.
see
stand alone.
it.
This is how you get yourself kicked out of the stream. You got it.
Sorry, Adrian. Go ahead.
And then I keep, and we go faster. Yeah, yeah. And then I keep scrolling. There's a motorcycle accident here in town. And then a car went through some building, somebody's apartment. Nobody was hurt, but and then I keep scrolling on the Greeley page, and they have gotten this pedophile page. Okay, I knew it existed, but it started going spilling over to the Greeley Anything Goes page, and this woman kept asking for help for different things. And then she posts, I need somebody to watch my kids from this time to this time on just a site. And so everybody's telling her, no, this isn't safe. You don't do that. So we go digging through her profile. She has got a picture with a guy that everybody recognizes, not me, but everybody recognizes and says he's a pedophile. And you got kids? And they start posting his pedophile records and his address and his charges. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my gosh. And then they start posting another one because this guy has been following women. And if they say anything about him being a pedophile, he says, I will sue you for a hate crime. So one lady put it all over and said, let him sue me, but you guys need to know, you need to check your kids'
What
phones.
grounds does he have to sue?
Yeah, really.
He's just scaring people is all he's doing.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're
pretty much.
shutting down
Yeah.
because he's scaring them. And they don't know the law. So they're like, they don't say nothing. So this lady got everybody and she's like, if you have messages from him, if you have your kids have messages, whatever, I will cut out the names and post them. And she did. He's going after 12-year-olds.
That's awful.
Gee.
That's horrible.
But they posted his address. I have a feeling that he's going to be a little hurt probably by the end of the night.
Possibly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially in that area.
Yeah.
Yep. He was over by King Supers. They said that he hangs out there and that's where he tries to meet girls. And they've got a picture of a screenshot where one lady caught him talking to her daughter. And the daughter went along with it. She was 12. And she was like, well, do you care that I'm younger than my profile picture? She had her mom as a profile picture. And he was like, no. And she said, no, I mean a lot younger. He was like, no, I don't care. She sent a picture of herself. And he was like, meet me at King Supers. Duh fuck.
Yeah.
We a few weeks ago, we actually had a guy about half hour from here who was arrested because he was planning on meeting a 12 or a 13-year old, and then he backed out of it. But even though he backed out of it, we have this club around, like bikers against pedophiles or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
He
Heard of
came
that.
and actually came and met with him and talked to him. It's like, you, you know, this is a big screw up and all of that, like really lecturing him. And he's like, yeah, I know that. That's why I decided to back out. But at that point, it was already too late. The police were going to come and get him.
Yeah, because he
Mhm.
already agreed to meet up with this person and knowing that she was 12.
So that tells you he has tendencies and he's going to do it again. His
Yeah.
conscience may not get him the next time. Yeah.
Speaking of crashes, there was a bad one in Louisville a few days ago.
Really?
A If I remember this right, a semi truck. This is the toll bridge going from Indiana to Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
and a semi truck somehow jumped the ledge, was hanging down, and was caught on fire.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
far as I know, the driver is okay,
Okay. Okay.
but that was still quite the sight to see.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
Your tongue stays in your mouth.
There was a crash like that. I think that also occurred like about,
we work on a dog.
I think we also had a crash like that, like out on one of the Chicago highways about 2 weeks ago. Oh wait, no, it wasn't it wasn't in the highway. Maybe you guys heard about this, maybe you haven't, because it got national attention. In which there was a truck
Chris
that
knows
went
what I'm
across.
talking about.
What's that?
Lay down.
Chris knows what I'm talking about. He's seen what I was talking about there.
Yeah,
So,
there
go ahead.
was a truck that actually crossed the railroad line. And here's the craziest part. I mean, I don't even know how this even occurred, but he was crossing the railroad line, and the railroad crossing guards were down. So obviously, as we all know too well, that means a train is coming. But he kept going across the track somehow as the train was barreling down the track. And literally, and it was captured on video. You can find it probably like on YouTube, where the the back part of the truck literally was just crushed. I mean, it was like crumbled like a beer can. There's
Is this a regular pickup truck or a semi truck?
Oh, this was a semi truck that was
Okay.
going across. So it was like I think it was like a 10-wheeler truck, and so it was a huge truck that was going across. But this guy was going even as the guards were already down. So he should have stopped before he should have stopped, obviously, like everybody else. But somehow he kept going, and as he's crossing, that's when the train comes down. And you have to remember it takes a while for trains to stop, and trains don't necessarily have the same brakes like we have with cars.
No, they don't stop on a dime. No,
Yeah, they have brakes, but they don't stop the same way as cars do.
no,
So
they got hundred, possibly millions of pounds behind them.
yeah, they do. And I think it was one of the fast moving ones too. So it was going down the track, I think at like 50 or 60 miles an hour. So it goes down, and it just barrels this truck and just crumbles it up. I mean, I'm really surprised. I found out the trucker who drove it. I mean, I'm really surprised he was not killed or even seriously injured. He was damn lucky, but man, I gotta say, if you watch it, even you would agree. You
He's
would you
all
would agree.
shook up, that's for
That
sure.
was just what's that?
He's all shook up. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think he realized very quickly that was a very stupid mistake to cross the railroad line after the guards went down.
Okay, Tom just sent me a link for Public Records Center Tom, I don't know if you were trying to send me anyone specific, but all I got is just a blank form where you can just do a search for someone. All right, so the, the, the topic that I have for today's show, well, first of all, we are going to keep this show at less than 2 hours.
Yes.
10 o'clock, we're done.
What's wrong?
I've already taken my Z-Quill. I need to get up at 4 in the morning. I got a lot to do tomorrow. So once we hit top of the hour, we going to bed, folks.
Yeah. Tom
Um,
said it was just a search.
okay. So I literally just found this out an hour ago. Um, just scrolling through Facebook and saw a post about a grave in the middle of a road. And what it is that you know how sometimes they will when they were building a road they would go around like a small little cemetery.
Oh, is it like one of those rural cemeteries?
Yeah, Adrian, we just froze.
Yeah, I just noticed that too.
And then let me put something in chat in case she's not able to hear us. There we go. She already said it.
Yep.
She
Just
just
lost
lost.
power.
She just lost power. So what I will do is I will go ahead and okay. I didn't even need to do that.
Or he took care of it for you.
Yeah. Okay. So well. Anyway, there is so a lot of times there are tiny like family plots, and it's in the way of where they want to pave a road. So they just go around it. There's actually a place up on the north side of Fort Wayne that's just like that, Coldwater Road. When when you get past the when you cross,
Too late, Jan.
too late. Well, can always go back in the
I was
replay.
going to say, yeah, you can always just rewind and go back that way.
Um, but this one here is unique because it is one grave, and it is actually in Indiana, in southern Indiana. Um, South of Franklin. Her name is Nancy Kerlin Barnett.
I feel like I've
And
heard of that name before. It sounds familiar to me for some reason.
well, there's don't look her up. Don't look her up. Hold on.
No, not going to. Not going to.
Hands up, Nick. Uh, she has very interesting family connections. So so I'm looking through here. She died in 18. She died in. Oh, hold on.
Oh, speaker can. Oh, there we go. Now she's back.
Well, for now,
Her camera's on at least.
yeah. Zach, Zach got her next month, Tom,
Yeah,
26.
July 26th.
So she died 1831. She was only 38 years old. Um, in the early 1900s, somebody was looking to pave a road and move her gravesite. Her great grandson, no, what is it? That's too far. No, her grandson stayed by the gravesite and with a shotgun saying, "You are not moving her grave." So they went around it, and basically her grave is now acts as a median. There's concrete all the way around it. Um, Chris has lost his mind.
Yeah, I was like thinking, what the hell is that? It's all gibberish.
So there's a gravesite around it, and they put like you know those they put a plaque on it. It's similar to the kind of plaques that veterans get on their headstones.
Yeah.
So there's one on that for Nancy Kerlin Barnett, died 1831, and probably this summer I'm going to try to go down there just to see it.
And where is it down in southern Indiana?
It's south of Franklin.
Franklin. Okay, I know where that's at.
South of Franklin, it's near where 700 west or 700, yeah, no, 700 west and 400 south, something like that.
Well, it's interesting you brought that up because I'm honestly surprised I didn't find out about that sooner because I hadn't even told you about this, but this was the result of my last slideshow that I did. But after I did the slideshow, like for the tri-state tornado of 1925, and I was talking about like where southern Indiana was hit, I was actually doing research on different areas of southern Indiana of either surviving buildings of the tri-state tornado or buildings that have been built since the tornado, like in the surrounding town areas, like historic building wise. So I was right because I was also going to list them as potential new episodes for Nick Files. And surprise, I mean, I literally did like a whole search throughout southern Indiana of the historic areas and cemeteries. Surprisingly, that one never came up for some reason. So I wonder why.
Pro- Probably because it was never damaged in the storms.
Well, it didn't really. I was looking at. I wasn't just looking for specifically locations that were survivors or were damaged by the tri-state tornado. I was looking for other historic locations
Uh,
that were in the towns themselves. It didn't have. Not every location that I searched for actually had something to do with the tri-state tornado. I was just looking them up so I can make new additional episodes of Nick. Future Nick Files episodes.
well, this one here is definitely a hidden gem. Um,
Chris. His mind has gone from eating rotten flesh. In case you guys don't understand what he's saying about rotten flesh, it's from maybe Jan because she plays it. It's from Minecraft.
uh, well, he mentioned that on Tuesday.
Yeah, he says that a lot. It's involved that's something that you eat in Minecraft. You're not supposed to eat it, but it makes your health. It makes you sick in the game.
Sick in the game.
Yeah, like it's it's after when you kill a zombie in Minecraft, and if you eat it, yeah, it restores your health, but it makes your hunger bar go even lesser, and it makes you more vulnerable to die in the game, like from attacks and stuff like that. And I always do it a lot, just to be a jokester, practically. And everyone knows it. They're telling me never to eat it in the game, but I do it anyway, just for the reaction.
It actually makes me think of an episode of The Walking Dead. I forget what season it was. But the preacher, the one who only has the one eye,
Yeah, yeah,
um, can't think of his name. Well, this crew was harassing him for some reason. I forget what. It's a bad crew, and somehow he ended up making up with them, and then he fed them meat, and it turned out to be meat from a walker.
yep, yep.
Yeah, I don't. I thought that was unique. So anyway,
Yeah. Anyways,
Nancy Barnett. Her maiden name is Kerlin. She got married at 14 to a guy named William Barnett in 1808. William Barnett is the great 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 grandson of John Wolfe and Pocahontas.
Oh, wow.
really, that makes so much more sense now. That's why
Yeah,
the name sounded familiar.
and and that's not the only family connection that I found. Nancy and William are the great, however many great grandparents of Edward Norton, the actor.
Hmm.
Edward Norton, yeah. Holy cow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So there is a direct line, and it's actually documented. There is a direct line between Edward Norton and Pocahontas.
Check that out. That really is. And I was always under the impression for the longest time, like like most of that would have been found in Virginia. I'm sure that's kind of surprising that that's all the way out in Indiana in this case.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's just because during Pocahontas's time, I mean, that was long before you know Indiana ever became a state, or I think before it even became the United States overall.
True, but that doesn't mean people didn't travel.
Yeah, that's true. That is
In
true.
in the 1800s, people were already traveling out west. They just didn't. Um, I don't want to say not claim anything, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. I
Yeah,
agree with what Chris said.
I thought it was interesting, and the fact that he or she is basically in the middle of all that, literally in Indiana.
Yeah,
So,
we learn something new every day.
oh yeah. In fact, I may have to try to write a story around that.
That would make a good story, I have to admit.
Yeah, because I'm getting ready to finish my next novel tomorrow. I'm already writing the epilogue for it, so tomorrow I will be wrapping it up.
Awesome.
Finally.
That sounded like that one took quite a while to put together.
And, almost 90,000 words. I'm currently at 87,000.
Oh, so you're almost there.
Yeah, this menopause
I
sucks.
was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm saying you look like you're really heated up, Adrian.
Menopause fucking sucks.
And
I got the air conditioner right there, and I'm dying.
and what are you drinking?
Water.
Okay, that's the best thing you can drink.
Yeah, I
That's
I
all I've
drink
been
almost a
drinking.
gallon a day.
That's all I've been drinking practically. I'm gonna have to continue on with that tomorrow because I'm gonna be heading out tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow is supposed to be 104 here.
Oh, really? Yeah, we're under. I don't know if it's like it over for you guys, Jeremy, but over here we're under an extreme heat watch.
I wish.
Let's
You get
see.
that too?
Dad told me it was high 80s today.
It was 97 here today.
No,
The extreme.
according to this, it said that we only got up to 78, but I know it was warmer than that. Now, the
Mm.
next few days, on the other hand, is going to be getting up there. Tomorrow's supposed to be a high of 83, Saturday 90.
Yeah,
And
then
that
you're probably under the same watch as us then because the extreme heat watch it's they said it was going to expire within 4 days, so we're at risk of getting that
start of
possible.
it.
What's
That's
that?
the start of it. Saturday
That's the
90,
start.
Sunday 92, Monday 93, Tuesday 93, 90, 89, 85, 81. So yeah, we're getting a bit of a spike
Yeah,
here.
that's probably the extreme heat warning then. So that I got to tell you right now, it's too bad we don't have our pool open just yet to try to escape the hot weather. So we're only going to be able to rely on our air conditioning for those days. In
Well,
fact,
that means Monday is going to be a bitch for me.
yeah, well, and right now even my dad is currently working on the pool, so it's still going to take quite a while before it's officially done.
Okay, Chris, what'd you send me this time?
Oh, speaking of weather, this is what I want. This is what I was uploading, Jeremy. I wanted to show this to you guys. Uh, Did you guys see these pictures? Their pictures. Did you guys see the pictures of a tornado that hit in Dickens, Nebraska, the other day? Did you see the pictures of that?
I didn't.
Oh, you guys got to see. I uploaded at least 3 pictures. Check this out, and you got to admit, these are like fantastic pictures. Look at the first one here.
Oh, yuck.
Yuck! What do you mean yuck?
That tornado's yuck. That's destruction.
Wait a minute. How can that even be possible?
What?
No.
Okay, I'll bring your vegetables.
Look at it, Nick. Don't you see what's wrong with it?
The rainbow?
Yeah,
There's been instances where tornadoes have been seen with rainbows.
but underneath the cloud.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's actually underneath the cloud. It might be on the edge of the cloud.
Um,
It's right in front of the tornado.
Yeah.
it's underneath the cloud.
Oh, yeah. Now that you said that, yeah. It was, and believe it or not, Adrian, there's actually no. It's out in an open field, so it never hit any homes. Surprisingly.
Hey, oh. We get done with this, I got something to tell you.
Okay. There's a second picture here. Here's one that's a bit closer. This was obviously from one of the storm chasers. Check this next one out.
Yeah, that's not okay to be that close.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
One thing I can't help but notice is just the ghostly white color it's got, and just the overall smoothness of it.
That's
That's
a dirt and water.
At how smooth it was, how smooth that is.
What about it, Jeremy?
That's what I was thinking about. How smooth that was. It. Are you sure this is a real thing and not just?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's videos of it. There's
That's
videos.
what
Of
they
it.
look like.
This tornado, surprisingly, they said it remained out in open country for most of its life. In fact, they said the only time it struck anything was that it struck only trees and telephone poles during most of its life.
That thing's got a wide base.
It does. They said very likely this tornado very likely would have most likely leveled homes to the ground had it passed through a town. But like again, it struck only trees and telephone poles, which ended up getting an EF2 rating.
Okay.
And then here's one more picture. This is when it was roping out. This one I really like a lot too, with the sky in the background and the dirt below it. It has that Wizard of Oz kind of look to it.
I was actually thinking of Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I actually, now that I'm seeing it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the poster and cover image of the movie Twister, because it has that long funnel to it, almost in a way. It has that same like cone shape. If you know what I'm talking about.
That and the movie Nope.
Yeah. That actually would make a good poster for a good tornado movie or documentary, honestly. So I really like that one a lot.
That one, yeah. The one that you showed before, the one with the wide base, that one, if they had a video of that, that would be a good one for a Twister trailer.
Yeah, it would. I think there might be a video of. If I do find it, I'll send it to you. So because I know this was taken by storm chasers.
Wow.
And this was the only other thing I know. This was a long lasting tornado, believe it or not. This one was on the ground for nearly an hour, and it was up. And Dickens is an unincorporated community, so there wasn't like very many houses or buildings in the area. So, like I said, it didn't strike any homes or farms or anything like that. So, good part was it stayed away from any towns.
They got lucky.
They were very lucky, but it didn't make it any less exciting for the storm chasers, because as long as it was not in any populated areas, they loved where it was. It was in a perfect spot.
All right, Adrian, you're up.
I'm actually writing this place. So I just, out of curiosity, my family lives in Iola, Kansas, and owns about half the town. So I was looking any haunted places in Iola, Kansas. Mind you, Iola, Kansas is probably 5 blocks long and maybe 7 wide. But
Damn, that's tiny.
so I looked up haunted places in Iola, Kansas, just see where I can go. Sleeper Mortuary. They have a Facebook page. They do tours and overnights, and a podcaster was just there, looks like. So I messaged the Facebook page. It's also an Airbnb, but
A
I don't want
mortuary is an Airbnb.
to. Yeah. Well,
Jeez.
it's not a mortuary anymore. There are still things there, but it's not a mortuary anymore. I intend on going and visiting. And I'm going to
Yep,
take my aunt with me.
there's a video of it, Jeremy. I was right, so I just sent it to you.
I'm looking at it now. Damn, you can see the things that are flying in the
I
air.
know, yeah, just debris, mainly of branches and stuff like that. I mean, it's just like they got to be just over like a few hundred, just like 200 yards from it. And it's just so ghostly white when you look at it.
I yeah, I see what you mean, but I still can't get my eyes off those objects. If any one of those were to hit somebody,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. A
Oh
piece
yeah.
of hay or straw will
Oh
pierce
yeah.
a
That will
human
do some
body.
serious. Yeah, that will do some serious damage. If you look at pictures, I mean, like even when I did the tri-state tornado, there's pictures where you see like pieces of hail that are like impaled in parts of
Mhm.
branches and like parts of wood and stuff like that. Like that, when it's thrown at high speeds like that, that's a deadly weapon at that point.
yeah.
Denver had windshields broken out with all the hail they got yesterday. Not
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Phantom History, Adrian.
Hmm?
Phantom History podcast. Is that the one you reached out to?
No, 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 no.
No, okay, because that's the YouTube channel that came up on my search when I searched for Sleeper Mortuary.
No, POD, Tori Westhoff just did a podcast there 3 days ago.
Tori,
Tori Westhoff,
we know her.
we do.
She yeah, she was the one that got Nick on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, she
What
did that 3 days
by
ago there.
Tori Smith first? She
Hmm?
was on by Tori Smith, and then she
Oh, okay,
yeah, but now she's Tori Westhoff. She was
okay.
keeping the name Smith to for privacy because she didn't want her last name out there,
Hmm.
and now for whatever reason she put her last name out. Okay, yeah, I see her. Yeah, we know Tori.
Okay,
I
Sleeper
know exactly what
Mortuary
it is.
on Facebook. Look at that. I messaged the mortuary themselves because more than likely they know my family.
Okay,
And they do $10 tours during the day.
so you're gonna try to go?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to definitely, because my aunt will get a little upset if I'm not staying with her. So I'm not going to do the Airbnb, but I will definitely go tour it.
Adrian, I was gonna try to reach. I was gonna try to reach out. I'm not gonna say much. I'll have to message you more about this because I know you wanted me to have keep quiet about this. But I remember I was telling you guys earlier this year about that I was telling you about in Kansas.
private message her.
Yeah,
Don't even talk about it on the.
that's
Apparently,
what
something didn't want you to talk about it on the air because you cut out.
something I got cut out.
That
Yeah.
I caught that too. Yeah.
I
So
did not even notice. Hey, Braxton, what's up?
so just like shit, Morton Downey Jr. He's the one that did this. Zip it.
Yeah, no, Chris, I will. I don't know about investigating if they'll let me. I will come back at night. I see it's not booked the night I'm going to be there, but I'm not booking the whole night because I'm staying with my aunt.
How many days are you staying there?
I'm staying 2 days in Iola and then 2 days in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
So right on the Kansas-Missouri border.
Mm-hmm.
Adria, I sent you the name of the location so you know which one I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah,
Not,
I went
not asking not asking to say anything about it now, just as a reminder.
I'm going to go to my brother's. I haven't seen him since he was 17.
Oh,
So I'm going to go stay with him. Oh,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember you were really wanting to try to set up something there. I was hoping to kind of give that. I know we kind of forgot, but I kind of thought it would be nice to give an update. Basically, a reminder on it.
Oh my God! They already messaged back.
You're gonna be going right through Salina.
Yeah, that's right. That's nice, Braxton. Said his aunts and uncles.
Huh? She goes, or he. I don't know who. It was the sleeper mortuary page. Said, "Hi there. I'll be working both of those days out of town. I can see if someone's available to tour you, though."
There you go.
Hmm.
Oh, I really, really do want to go back to Salina.
That makes two of us. I really want to go back too. I
I
just
don't
wonder.
think I'd want to go back unless I know who's running it anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, the location I brought up that I sent you, I just want to know how far is that from Salina. Speaking of which, just out of curiosity,
I don't know.
looking it up right now on Google Maps.
I imagine quite a ways because that's
It
close to
is.
Garden City.
It would
It's
be a way because there's nothing in Kansas.
yeah, it's farmland.
It's all been blown away into Oz.
Yeah, it is from Salina to that location. It is about 2.5 hours away.
No, that ain't bad at all.
It's not bad. It's let me see here. Salina to that particular location. That's in which town is that in? Oh, it's in Lansing. Um Only 100 it's about 106 it's about 106 miles east of Salina. It's actually more closer to Lansing is actually more closer to Kansas City. And it's also ironically close to Leavenworth too.
Who was the podcast? What was Smith's first name?
Toy?
Tori.
Tori.
Yeah, she was the one that started the um, paranormal relief thing
Mm-hmm.
and handed it off to me, and I changed it to paranormal given tree.
Right.
Yeah, between Lansing and Salina, it's only a 2.5 hour drive. It's not bad. That's not a bad drive at all.
Yeah, I told her, I said, it's no problem. I know this is last minute. If you don't have somebody there, that's perfectly fine. And I told her what family I belong to. We'll see if that's a good or bad thing here in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they own, like, one of them's a banker One of them owns the only transmission shop in town. Um, Two of them run the nursing home. Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing what Chris is saying. Adrian, if we give him the chance of wanting to go, this location looks like Chris is on board. He said that's easy drive for him.
Easy drive. When I was a courier, it was 8-9 hours a day. 5-hour drive. What's a 5-hour drive, Chris?
I think he's either referring to either Salina or Lansing.
Dude, I can't get your ass up here. Or no, don't tell me about that until you've got something lined up. Don't
You
talk to
may
me.
not see him until March.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh
I'm going to have
shit!
to save a lot of room in my car because he is planning on giving me a bunch of things.
She goes, I thought I recognized your name. My name's Clayton, not Folk. Anyway.
Check this out.
She goes, we just opened in January. We're so new. We're not really known. Hopefully we will be someday. I said, you will be now.
Adrian, I'm going to send you something else. Because
Get her on the show.
what's that?
I was telling Adrian get her on the show.
Oh, see, there you go. Adrian, I'm going to send you something else. The location that I was referring to, I was just on the Wikipedia page about it. They just recently updated it, and they added an old picture of the location. I'm going to send it to you just so you have it.
Okay.
It's an interest. This is the first time I'm seeing this picture. I'll just say it's from 1920.
I told her, I said, I'm on the podcast now. I'd love to have you on the show to promote it.
Yeah, let's get her on.
Uh-oh. What did Chris say? Oh my goodness. I didn't know that you could send these like the animated GIFs now on this.
OBs.
OBs. Oh no. Oh no. That's not what it is, Hatred. Look at it again carefully.
It's bees.
No. It's
Ruby.
I thought it said. I thought it was saying Bobbies.
No,
I thought it was bees because you do the bees in your Minecraft.
Yeah, with Minecraft, and I didn't even realize. Like I thought, I only just saw it in the comments, but these are actually moving in the comment section, like even on screen.
Yeah, so
That's
so
a new
why
feature.
Twitch or
What, boobies are moving? Yes, every time I move.
I don't know what that is. What is that in the animated GIF?
like a
I'm gonna have to here, I gotta grab the computer. What the hell is that? Oh, it's a fish.
yeah, it's like a bass mouth or a
It's
Bass mouth, yeah.
a fish grabbing boobies.
So yeah, get her on this show. See if
I will. I'm not sure if it's male or female, but
have her on in a couple weeks.
There is actually somebody.
Maybe she'll let me do a live there, or I don't know, will let me do a live there, and then we can kind of promote it, or maybe let me do an investigation if nobody's got it booked for a couple hours. Everybody on the page, on the Facebook page,
better behave.
they're talking about everything they have seen in there, and how they weren't believers until they went there. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, see if you can get her on in like 2 or 3 weeks.
I'll be able. I mean, why not have Chris on too at some point?
Chris has been on, and until Chris can get with me and actually doing it, he ain't coming back home until we have something to talk about together. No, I'm mad at him.
Okay, so Chris, you are now officially banned from the show until you get to Adrian's house so you can show up on camera there.
I can't do anything about it, Chris. I'm sorry.
We need to do an investigation. That's what we need to do. Yeah, not that fucking far away.
Well, and the reason it's called sleeper mortuary is because it was established in 1886 by Lyman Sleeper. Okay.
Yep. And
Adrian, did you get the picture, by the way?
yep.
Okay.
And this month is when he died, the anniversary of his death. And so they posted that on their booking page.
We can do one. Chris says we can do one. I just have to get cleared to drive from my seizure.
Get to it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I actually forgot about that too.
Yeah, he can't drive.
I didn't know about it.
He told me a while back, but unfortunately, since like obviously like everyone else, I've had so much going on with myself that I actually forgot about that.
This is the one when he was in that coma for
Yeah, he was. He
5.
was.
I told whoever this was, I said, she said, he said, thanks for the opportunity. I said, absolutely. We would love to promote a location that hasn't been overdone.
Yeah. So, yeah, try to get her sometime, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this because I'm willing to bet now I'm going to get in that location. I'm sure I'm going to pay the money to go in. I would have anyway. You don't keep a location going for free.
No, you
And
don't.
I absolutely would pay the money to go in. But I bet she has someone there to let us in.
Well, she just told you that she can have somebody there.
She said she's going to see. And if
There's
she'll let
also
me do like a promotional type video and let me go in by myself and see what I can get by myself. Somebody said they went down in the basement and they got the worst scare of their life ever. And they were not a believer.
Iola, Kansas.
Yes.
Iola, Kansas.
Sleeper Mortuary, Iola, Kansas.
Yeah,
that's
there
what,
you
is
go.
that the answer to Chris's question?
Okay, she said you can see some of the evidence caught on my TikTok. It's Haunted Sleeper Mortuary. There are some YouTube videos that people have put out as well that you can look up.
So she has a rules section here on the website.
Yeah.
Overnight guests are absolutely not allowed to sleep in any areas on the first floor.
Yeah.
That is not her rule, but a city code rule.
Right.
Okay, I'd never heard where you can't sleep on a specific floor, so that's a new one.
That's because it's not up to code.
Live stream and record. I do not charge extra, and the footage is yours to do what you want with. If you catch something cool, I'd love to see it. Here's the bad one. She allows Ouija boards to be brought in and on the premises.
No, nothing wrong with that. No, I disagree.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not
it is a tool of communication, just like a damn spirit box. You open it up to anything.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not opposed to it. I'm not saying that at all. Because I know.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, years ago I thought they were dangerous, but now that I've kind of gotten a better understanding of how Ouija boards work, I'm more open minded to it. But you just got to know how to use it correctly.
Please feel free to take a shower, but you must bring your own towel and toiletries.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's what I would do. They just bought this place.
Braxton here says, would have been a believer for real if they came down to the deep south. Plenty of haunted places and dark tales down here, which,
damn sure is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in Louisiana, they got like so many locations.
There is nothing better than going to Marie Laveau's grave. There's nothing. If you can feel anything, There is nothing better than going to her grave simply because, number one, you're paying respect.
Absolutely.
And that's what you do when you go there. You're giving her something, paying respect. And she knows it. She understands. She's there. Not there, but she understands it. Her spirit understands.
That
You
was
two little bastards. Hey! That's enough!
Jeez, that was some aggressive barking they were making.
That was Rose teaching Ghost a lesson.
oh boy. Um,
but
no, that was an adventure trying to find that grave.
the Ouija board grave, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I did my coffee talk on haunted things. They call it Adrian's Ghost Stories, but that's not what it turned out to be. Okay, there were so many people sign up. I had to do 2 separate sessions. Okay,
Wow.
great. I expected to do all the talking, right? Or kind of lead it in that direction. No, I didn't have to. The second session was amazing because one of the guys there is a Hispanic dude that was raised in the Mexican culture way of egg cleansing and seeing and the evil eye and all of that. And it was amazing because not only does he feel, he sees, he smells, and he hears. But didn't know what any of that meant until he grew up and realized there's names for it. Clairaudient, clairsentient, all of that. And he lives in Denver. I said, we're going investigating. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I definitely would like to hear more about that one for sure.
Well, actually, that brings up something else too. All this talk about investigations. Excuse me. Oh wait, hang on. Just before I just got to show what Braxton said. But over here in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, uh, George, Alabama. That's what he was trying to say. Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Virginia, Carolinas, you name it. Yeah, with all the history and
He
hauntings.
he did say that that's just what they call it. They just call it Bama.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even know they sometimes call it Bama.
Oh
That
yeah. If you're an Alabama original, you just call it Bama.
I never would have even known that, honestly. To
Oh,
be completely
that's
honest,
how out of town is or out of state say Illinois.
the S is still silent even outside of Illinois.
No, it is not. There's nothing silent
That
outside
is.
of Illinois.
You do realize that just like a lot of states, Illinois is named after like a Native American tribe, but the
And
original
they said S's. Believe me, they
the
said S's.
no, yeah, they did, but the actual name from them was really the Illinois. That's where
Illinois.
Just like the S, Nick, is not silent in bullshit.
Chris, it does have its own time zone. It's called Nick Zone.
Yeah.
Said about 10 minutes behind everybody else.
Oh, she tells me.
Not on Mary's show today. Nope.
She said Haunted Nights, Fright Night, Connor Blaine, Paranormal, and Kalani all did YouTube episodes on that place.
You're right, Jeremy. Yeah, Braxton confirms it. Yep, Bama, Alabama, Kakalaki, the Carolinas. Okay, now that is another one I never heard of.
Okay.
That's
Kakalaki.
What is it?
Kakalaki.
Kakalaki. Yeah, that's a new one I never heard of. So Braxton's teaching me a couple things I never knew.
Oh, he could teach you a lot of Southern ways you wish you didn't know.
I could go on with a couple jokes for that, but I am not going forward with it.
Probably the best idea.
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk about boobies.
No, I'm not even talking about that either.
Well,
So
see, in New Orleans, you have to give beads to see, or well, you see boobies, you give beads, and
Isn't that
that's not
because of Mardi Gras?
just nope,
yeah,
that's
well,
not just during Mardi Gras.
I'm going to throw something else in.
Oh God.
Probably shouldn't, but it's just too damn good to pass it up. So to go along with what um,
Thank you, sweetheart.
with what Braxton was saying,
Thank you, Sky.
so you give the beats to the woman in New Orleans. You see them, and then you can go back to Wackakacky Lackey.
Okay, okay. That
All right. First of all, first of all,
that's what I said earlier, Braxton.
it's New Orleans. It's not New Orleans. Second of all, you don't give the beads to the woman unless she shows you them boobies.
That's what I'm saying, but that's not the punchline. Now, see, Chris got it.
Oh, I know he got it.
Yeah,
This is the
that
moment where I wish
was
I wish Tom, now Pickle Tom, was on right out of here this, because I know he would have
New Orleans.
jokes for
That's
that.
right, New Orleans.
I
You know what?
I can already feel the Ezekiel working on me, folks. So we're
You
not
know what?
this long.
The best thing from New Orleans that I remember is the crawfish boils. Oh my God. There's nobody can do them like they do there. When we were there were some people staying in a camper next to us, and they were having one. They're like, come on over here. Well, they were, I don't know if this is offensive there or not, but anyway, they were coon asses. They were country and what we call rednecks here. And I'm telling you what, they are the friendliest, sweetest people you will ever meet. And they're like, come on over here. We're having a crawfish boil. Okay. Seafood boil. Okay. I'm there. And they were the sweetest people ever. The country folk there are just like rednecks here. You treat them with respect, they will treat you with respect. You don't, well, you might get shot. There you are, Orleans.
That's what
No.
I was just showing that Orleans and Nolans. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
cannot
I've always
stand,
referred to
just
it.
like Louisville, I cannot stand to hear somebody say Louisville.
Well, you know what? I don't know if you know this, Adrian, or maybe I did bring it up a long time ago, but we do have a Louisville here in Illinois, although it's like more down in central, like kind of south central Illinois. And it's spelled the same way, like you'd see like for Louisville, Kentucky, but it's actually pronounced Louisville over there.
Yeah,
Despite
the town here is too.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, yeah, if you were gonna, for example, if you came up here to Illinois and you came to Louisville, but if you pronounce it as Louisville, those residents will say, no, you got that wrong. It's called maybe Louisville in Kentucky, but over here it's Louisville.
We have a Louisville here, but it's spelled Lewis.
Yeah, here it's
Yeah,
spelled just like Louisville, but it's Louisville, and it's actually a mining town. So they pronounce the S on Louisville, but on the state, strange people. No, they do not pronounce the S on Louisville in
Not
Kentucky.
Kentucky, no.
Not in Kentucky, but like in Illinois and like you said, Colorado, the other towns they do.
So you guys do know how to say S's, is what he's saying. And y'all didn't know when you hear the Arklatex area is
Arklatex
short
area.
for
Yep.
Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. The
That
tri-state
I've heard.
area.
Yeah.
That I've heard. The Arklatex area.
I have not.
Yeah, that's kind of I don't know if that's kind of like a recent term, but they've recently been using it for kind of like, because that's like the tri-state area. So that's, obviously referring to Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. I actually thought Oklahoma would have been added to it too, but then I realized, wait a second, no, Oklahoma would be further up north.
Oklahoma is connected to Arkansas
It
and
is, but
Missouri.
like
And
connecting close to like Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas all together, then it's further up, because by then it would only be connecting up to parts of Texas and Arkansas.
I'm telling you, there is a state between Kentucky and Louisiana, and I don't know exactly which state it was because I'm telling you, I hightailed it out of there so fast I didn't know what the hell happened because they do not like white people. I'm telling you, we walked in a store just to get food because we were going to Louisiana. The looks we got when we walked in, I'm telling you, I got my food and I walked right the hell back out until we left that state. And I don't remember what state it was now, but hell no.
Yeah, that would be Mississippi.
It
Yep.
might have been, but hell no. Hell no.
What about Mississippi?
That's the state that she's talking about.
Well, what about it?
We walked in, there was one town. We never stopped at another town, so I don't know if it's anywhere else too. But walked in, we stopped to get gas, some food, walked in, everybody's staring at you if you're white.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I actually remember.
Jackson area. Because Eileen tells me avoid Jackson at all costs if I can.
It might have been.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
Adrian, I remember you told me that a long time ago when we were at your house. I mean, obviously there was various reasons why, because of the demographic, as I'll just say. But yeah, I remember you said
Ooh.
that. Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
You said that they saw you as very unwelcome guests.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oklahoma doesn't connect with Louisiana, but it does with
that's
Texas.
what I was referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Louisiana and Homa does still level congregate with one another though.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Because
Texas,
Louisiana is further
Arkansas,
south than
Louisiana,
Oklahoma.
and
Yeah,
no,
Louisiana is further south and Oklahoma is further north.
Louisiana and Oklahoma do still on a level congregate with one another. I
By the
was
border.
in Oklahoma years and years. That's
Well,
Kansas. I was there till I was 16. Oklahoma, I was there till I was 29. And then I moved to Kentucky for a few years and then New Mexico and then here. I've been all over.
Yeah,
And I love every state.
You're like a nomad.
I am. I love every state I've been in. There's something beautiful about every state.
Well, I kind of consider that even like that myself. I mean, I always say, like, again, although I've always been a Chicago resident, because we're close to we're an hour each away from both, up to Wisconsin to Indiana, and also like an hour and a half away from Michigan, and also just like 2-3 hours away from Iowa. I kind of consider myself kind of a resident of those states too, because we're so close. And honestly, even though this is even further more away, but because I go to this state frequently, I even extend that to Ohio to some extent.
Holy shit. Ice is
yeah,
here.
Yep, that's probably what it was. A reverse sundown town. That's what they call them. Yeah, that's if you heard what that is, right? Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I know exactly what it is. And you know what? I don't blame them.
Yeah, yeah, that's why they call it sundown town, because
I don't blame them.
Yeah, well, and I wouldn't blame them either. I wouldn't. I honestly would give them like the most ultimate respect.
Oh, absolutely. I never looked at him funny. But you know what? it's actually very humbling, and I think everybody needs to go through it, especially today being Juneteenth. Everybody needs to go through that
Yeah,
at least
well,
once in their life so they can understand how these people feel, because they still get looked at that way in places.
they do. Well, and if you really think about it, I mean, we all know, for example, like when you look past history, like, for example, we're all familiar with the Great Migration, where a lot of African Americans moved to the North and parts of the West, to escape the racial hatred that was going on in the South, in the early
Mm-hmm.
20th century. Well, believe it or not, there's kind of a similar repeat of history that's going on right now, and they actually call it either the reverse or second Great Migration, in which many African Americans now are returning to the South. So it makes a lot more sense when it comes to like these reverse sundown towns. So this is the result of the reverse migration, and I find it interesting that a lot of them have been moving back to the South because, in spite of what they went through, even if their ancestors were had gone through slavery or whatever, in the
Mm-hmm.
end, regardless of the fact, that was still part of their family history. That's still home to
Sure,
them. So
sure.
regardless of whether their ancestors had a good history or a bad history, they're still going to return to the place where the family all began.
Well, here's the thing. Our company is a Fortune 500 company. And um, we're a Fortune 500 company. We are all about inclusivity. Inclusivity. Yeah, there we go. Um, I'm I'm actually in the parade for the Pride Parade in Denver. I'm going to that.
Is that
We
one of
did
your dogs
Juneteenth,
whining?
huh?
Is that one of your dogs whining?
Joe, that's a kid.
I was going to say, who's that? Who is that kid that's whining in the background?
I thought it was one of the dogs.
No, I knew it was a kid.
I wish it was one of the dogs because I could do something about it. This is somebody that my sweet husband decided to babysit today.
Of course.
Bless his heart, it's all his because grandma ain't got the patience today. But we
So does that mean that Zach isn't cooking dinner right now?
he did cook dinner. He sure
Oh,
did.
you didn't even see him bring a plate.
Yep, he did. Um, but no, it was we had Juneteenth today. We've had it for a week now. And listening, I learn something every year. I've been there 3 years now, and we do this every year. And this year it was really amazing because they had the Divine Nine. I don't know how many of y'all know anything about the Divine Nine.
I don't.
I've never even heard of it.
Okay, so it's 9 sororities. Okay. There was one that started it, and this sorority is for Black people. And the first sorority that started was to continue education for Black people because, as we know, they were denied education.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and this was not that long ago that they're still catching up to this point. The Divine Nine go into their communities and give out books, school supplies, help with scholarships, all kinds of things. But I want you to know the people that led this group. Now, again, our company is a Fortune 500 company. It's the best of the best. I want you to know most of our leaders are Black leaders. And I was so happy to see that because they are showing they caught up faster than we ever did. Because you know what? We were, oh, well, this is just part of our, whatever. We take it for granted. That is our problem. We take it for granted.
We
They
take
have
everything
surpassed
for
us. I
granted.
promise you. Huh?
We take everything for granted.
We do.
Yeah.
And they have surpassed us. And just like the Pride Parade that I will be joining, I joined in their effort, and I will, of course, I'm not saying I'm part of the Divine Nine. I'm absolutely not. But I will be supporting that cause.
We have
And
a pride. Oh, I'm sorry, Adrian. Go ahead.
and we will be, if you're not a Black American, if you want to attend, don't be hesitant or worried. You can go to one. Yeah. Yeah. Um, we had the biggest turnout for Juneteenth. And to listen to these people and then listen to ones like me that are white as shit. One of the projects they did, which I thought was really amazing, was make your own freedom flag, which makes you think what colors, what symbols, what represents freedom to you. So we were just, we did it at our desk. So it was like, if you had colored pencils, you did that. If you didn't, you drew, whatever. To see the different meanings for people, it's amazing. One girl was from Mexico, and this wasn't just isolated to Juneteenth. It was freedom, period. So that would make you think, these people were enslaved for 2 years after they were free. They didn't know that they were free. Now, would that piss you off? That would piss me the hell off. When somebody came to me and said, "You've been free for 2 years. Why are you still listening to a master?" The fuck? But that is what they went through, and they're still trying to catch up. And then, this girl, from her heritage was Mexican. She put a heart, a bald eagle on top, because eagle is for Mexico and it is for America.
Jill's in the chat.
Happy Juneteenth, honey.
Happy Juneteenth. Long time no see.
And she put a heart between the two, Mexican and American. And we asked her what that meant to her. And she said, we complement each other. And without each other, we'd be a whole lot less than we are now. Which is very true. Very true. Nick, something you want to share?
I just muted him.
Oh, that's probably the best thing in the world.
I had to.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I had to.
I'm sorry.
Nick old Tom was that.
I had to. I do not and will not apologize. I had to.
Nick.
I'm sorry. Oh, damn.
I'm gonna give you a second to compose yourself.
This is almost as good as 2 years ago, I think now, when he actually had to mute himself because he was laughing so hard.
Well, we should have muted him before he called one of our guests a name.
Hey, I wasn't on the show for that one.
I was.
Yeah, that was all you guys that time.
I had no way of knowing what would come out his mouth.
I think I have that clip.
If you don't know the history, long ago, the Green Book was created outside the South. The places where they wouldn't be safe. You know what? That, along with the Divine Nine, I learned about that also in this little ERG meeting we had. And they also asked, what does Juneteenth mean to you? And of course, we're a very diverse group of people. We have our LGBTQ plus community. We have the whites. We have the Hispanics. We have everybody. and to listen to everybody say freedom, hope. My word, I actually had two. One was, and not trying to be political, mine was hope that things would continue to go in the right direction instead of regress, because things are just kind of back and forth right now. And
That they are.
those of us that are allies, that stand with every other community, need to stand up at this point. If we don't, this nation's fucked. And we're not only are we going to have a civil war, we're going to have a war between races, cities. It's going to turn out bad, and there's no need for it. We are one people. There is no need for this.
And in a way, we've already kind of had those wars, but in a different way
Yeah.
with the riots that we've had.
Yep. Yep.
And,
And
and it comes straight from that. What pisses me off is when people are bringing in pallets of bricks just so that they can throw them through storefront windows.
okay, I can say I do not agree. And I just saw, and this is what made me bring up ICE and all this to begin with. I just saw a post on our Greeley page. ICE is here. And which they have been. This is not news. They're everywhere. This is not news. I joined our immigration team over last weekend. Are helping the immigrants. So this notice was ICE is here,
Sorry, I'm just laughing what Jill said.
kind of hide your people, which, okay, I agree with. If they're criminals, let's get them out of here. Let's give them their due process, is my point.
Yep.
Everybody deserves due process if they're in this state. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what you did. You deserve due process.
That's what happened to that one guy where they deemed him an illegal and then shipped him right out, and then
Right.
found out later, oh no, we
Garcia.
got the wrong guy, but yes,
Garcia.
get him back in here.
Well, and there's I don't
Here's
know if
another one.
there's another one too I want to bring up. Go ahead, Adrian.
You know that autism has its own tattoo and it involves rainbows.
That's the one I was going to bring up. Yeah, I know that's the exact same case I was about to bring up.
They are saying that is a
Gang
some kind of
tattoo.
a gang tattoo. I'm sorry.
That's just
Stop.
okay.
Do your research and get your head out your ass.
Most people are capable of that. And Jill, when you were talking about that, the way that you said it came out wrong, you should have heard what I said earlier about a half hour ago.
Oh,
Which part?
that was great. It was.
I couldn't not share. It was that good.
It almost knocked me to the ground.
It was bad, but it was good.
It was
One of those rare times that I will let something naughty come out of my mouth on a show. Yeah. Yes, you did miss it because it was so damn good. No, we got about 10 minutes. Did you hear me?
I heard you.
Oh.
No, don't worry. I did.
We're
It seems like everybody is looking for me right now, and I'm trying to like say I it's got 10 minutes left of this, so it's like, geez, got so much on my plate right now.
Jill, it wasn't a slip up. It was intentional.
No, it was not. It was far from a slip up.
Yeah, it was.
You're gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, I don't remember what time I
It
said.
was at least a half hour ago,
Yeah,
or maybe 40 minutes.
it's somewhere around there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the ice that's in town here, they're warning where they're at. Okay,
Let's
fine,
see.
great.
Hold on, let's
We
see.
have already passed out, flyers in every language of what your rights are. If you are guilty, you need due process. Here's my issue. People's visas have expired. That is not their fault. They have went to the consulate to get their visas renewed. They are 2 years behind trying to get these things. It's our government that is 2 years behind. And instead of flagging the system, stating, hey, they came in, they're on a waiting list because we cannot get to them, they're just out there with expired visas, so now they can go get them. I have a problem with that. My dad was an immigrant. I have a problem with that. That's huge. No, that's not okay. Oh shit, we're immigrants. But the point is there has to be a better system. I don't care how we do it. We have to have a better system than sending people back to countries that kill them, and that includes Mexico. Because if you don't pay your ration to the cartel, you die. Know that for a fact. I've been there. I've seen it. Who else? And I know this has been said all over Facebook. Who else is going to pick these fields for $5 an hour?
Yeah.
Number one, that's illegal to do. They have to be paid minimum wage at least. That's illegal. How are we getting by with that shit to start with? Second of all, when I lived in New Mexico, those motherfuckers ran businesses better than we did. I mean, we had veterinarians, one man, one instance, a veterinarian, highly educated, wonderful man, left there to get away from the cartel.
Get off the stairs now.
He was 60 something, did shovel work. I'm talking work I can't do. At 51, I can't do it. He never blinked twice. He got educated for a reason and was out there doing shovel work for half the price as white men just to get away from there. And now he's going to be shipped back there? This is not okay. There has to be a better system somehow. I understand if you've committed a crime, due process, ship them back, whatever. This is not okay. None of this is okay. Without due process, that's our Constitution, due process.
Yep. And like what Braxton just saying, parts of Mexico, in South America, the mob and gangs run things. You need permission from one of them to be
No
allowed
joke.
to play. And that's which is not, that's something I've heard all the time. That's not surprising at all.
They're no joke.
They're not. Oh no, they're not. They're definitely not.
Yeah, and I, there's a country, and I can't remember which one it was, and I'm sure somebody can tell me. As a guest in the country, as a tourist, as just somebody visiting, you're okay. As somebody trying to move to that country, they do a background check. They clear you before they give you permission to move there. Okay, it's not a sanctuary country. But what happened to the saying, we are a sanctuary country? And that comes with all its issues. It does. But what happened to give me your hungry? Give me your poor.
Go potty.
Go potty, baby. Ghost, come here. You know, that's what we're built on, and that's just the way it is. And yes, things need to change. Things do upgrade. Things, as things happen, but we are still a sanctuary country.
Yeah. You found the spot, Jeremy?
Yes, I
Because
did.
I saw what you just wrote. 1
Yeah.
hour, 10 minutes.
She'll like it.
Oh, you will have a good time.
Go potty.
Yeah.
You did pull the door open.
Well, my Zeke is working on me. My eyes are having a hard time focusing right now.
Yeah.
All right. Before I get political, let's shut it down.
I just want to say,
Before you get political,
Before I really get political.
I'm just going to say quickly, too, Jeremy, that there is somebody else I would like to bring on the show. It's actually a new friend of mine who's just getting started into the paranormal. She's like one of my new recruits.
Yeah.
Her name is Angel. And as far as dates are open of having guests, I mean, when would be a good time to maybe have her on?
You pick, and then I'll talk to my guest after.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you too, Adrian, because I don't want to get it on the same date.
Yeah, no. You go ahead and do yours, and then I'll give dates.
Okay.
just
Chris.
he's not wrong.
That is the most sadistic rhyme there is.
Yeah, the whole conversation can continue next week. That's right.
Oh, we'll probably be having a different conversation next week.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody, happy Juneteenth.
Yes.
Thank God, the gods, whatever, for our freedom. Let's keep it that way.
Yes.
We all have to have a voice. Let's keep it that way.
Yep. Especially at a time like this.
Yep. Do what we can. That's all we can do. But one little act can make a huge difference.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Chris.
Since I'm the only one that show's got him, I thought I might make sure I still got him. Yep, we're good.
Well, you too, Nikki.
Yeah. So, whew. Yeah, I got to go to bed because I got my alarm set to go off in 6 hours.
Yeah, now I got to get off here.
We get 6 hours. We don't even get that a night. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I got to get off here too because right after that, I'm supposed to be joining Minecraft with the rest of the guys. They actually put it. We're not going live, but they set up an EveMux account just to make it.
You were late to our show, and you're going to get on my dude.
It's not.
We're going to have a priority talk.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, this whole entire evening has been like crazy. Like it's like I'm just up for grabs, and I'm not talking just about this and playing Minecraft. I had to take a couple other calls. That's the reason why I was late.
Repeat after me.
It's like, oh my God, it's been crazy.
Nick, repeat after me. I am busy right now.
Yeah, I know.
I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Well, it's not just everything online. My mom needed me to help her out with a few things too. So
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. That's home priority.
Yeah, I know.
We got to remember, Adrian, he runs on Nick time.
He's going to remember the words, I am busy right now. I will get back to you as soon as I can.
That sounds like a good plan, then.
Woo! Okay.
I got to get out of here.
Right. So once again, remind everybody. Well, it's now tomorrow for her, but today was Mary Williams' birthday. So, and then next week it's mine.
Yay!
I'll be the big 4 or 5.
Oh boy.
I know.
Damn it, Jeremy, you're only 6 years behind me.
Yeah. But I've got more gray hair than you do.
No, you don't. I have died.
Well, to be fully honest, I already have a couple gray hairs coming out already for me.
Well, you're at that age where you're supposed to have a couple gray hairs.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause I found my first one at 24.
20.
Oh,
I wonder
yeah.
if that's the
Me
same age
too.
that Eileen got when she was 24.
All right, folks, we're gonna call it a night. It is exactly 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Is when I was hoping to be able to end the show with, because you need to, because the ZQL works on me in 2 hours, and it's been 2 hours since I took it.
Now it's 8:01. You better come
Yep.
home.
Gotta
Yep.
go.
All right, so we will see you all next week, where apparently we're supposed to be having a show, even though I had said I didn't want to.
Oh, damn.
I know. What are we going to do? Well,
We're going
folks,
to have a show.
Gotta do what you
we'll
gotta
find out what we'll do next week. So, meanwhile, thank you so much for playing along, and we will see you guys next week. You guys have a good weekend and a safe one if you're in the middle of the storms.
Yep. Be safe.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.